my friends, my family, my YouTube family, my Litecoin family? It is Monday, February 13th. Salute. If you guys are out there, thank you for my new subscribers. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. I do this for you. I do this for the community. No one pays me to do this. I love the community. I love decentralization. I love cryptos. I love the fact that, we're on this adventure right now, you guys, and we're having this adoption and the knowledge, and the institutions are teaching our younger kids about blockchain and programmability, digital money. And I think that the future is going to be cryptos, you guys. So whether or not you guys believe that, I hope you do. I wanted to go into some things tonight. I did, if you guys do like news, and I'm not going into enough news for you, please come to my litecoinlawton.com, and you guys can look up all your news and articles all you want. I try to make it easy. Use it, please. That helps my channel. I also wrote a book if you guys are interested. I haven't really mentioned that before, but I do have the link down below on Amazon. So anyways, you guys, thank you. I wanted to get in some charts. I actually downloaded a couple charts. I just wanted to go through them and what I kind of think of these charts. This is a Bitcoin chart of like the halvings that are kind of put in, and what this analyst kind of thinks is going to happen in the next, couple of years. We have this could happen, right? So it's happened before. We're in this, excuse me. This cycle though, this cycle right here is only exists in a quantitative easing environment, macro level with the regular stock market. So, just because it's happened before doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen again. I think we're on this S curve, you guys. So this is what I think. I think we're on an S curve. I really can't stand the charts that look like, see this chart I actually really like. So this chart I really like. This is the chart I wanted to go with you guys. This chart is misleading, and you probably have seen this other places, and I want you guys to get this out of your head. We're not leveling off, and yes, initially it makes sense, right? So this analyst actually missed this 100K top, and we only made 66,000. But we are not leveling off, you guys. The market cap right now is, this is where cryptocurrency is. Okay, and I can just scroll through this thing. I showed you on the last video, you guys. But this is how much money is going to look for a home here when the paper derivatives market falls off the edge, right? And we have this little tiny blip, and if cryptos only get like 10% of the trust of the entire global worth, then it'll 100x the market, right? So we're very early on this adoption curve, you guys. We're like right here, and this kind of like leveling out. It looks like it almost goes level, and instead of this curving this way, this is part of the S curve. That's my theory. So until proven otherwise, this is what I believe. I believe we're having this S curve, and then we're gonna start curling up, you guys. We're gonna have this like this third, fourth inning is what I like to call it. And a few people agree with me that the third and fourth inning is where we're gonna make all our money, you guys. And this is where this adoption curve right here, we're gonna just start gathering the rest of the money in the world, all this funny money and paper and derivatives and bets on bets on bets and fake Bitcoin. That it's all going to flow into the top of the top of the pyramid, right? So you have gold, silver, and then the only time it actually is going to start doing this. So yeah, you actually this part right here, right, looks kind of similar to this part of the S curve, right? So we're kind of like, even though it's going to start pumping a little bit harder here pretty soon, we're going to see it's not this. Okay, so everybody thinks that we're like here, we're going to Amish, right? This is the Amish adoption. So it's funny, even the Amish are going to adopt Bitcoin, you guys, in the end. So I think that as well. And this S curve is going to flatten out, and this is not until like Bitcoin is like $30 million and has absorbed like 30% of the entire um, global net worth. So we'll see what's going to happen, you guys. I really think that we're early right now. I did want to go into this Bitcoin or Litecoin chart, you guys. So I really like this analyst's kind of prediction of Litecoin, and I have a very similar, even though we haven't done this yet. So I really he has $1,000 price target after post pump, and this is basically kind of coincides with Bitcoin's traditional bull market. So we will see what happens here. I think we might have this more of a capitulation. And then I think we're going to have this like overcorrection, you guys. So what I think is going to happen here, let's go to the charts. Okay. And I appreciate everybody out there. I hope you guys are doing so good. The world's crazy right now. Hopefully they don't shoot down another UFO here pretty soon. It's concerning to me because it could be, you guys don't want to hear my conspiracy on what's going on with the objects right now. But typically they do show up with nuclear arms associated with them. And I in the past, the activity with UFOs, and maybe it's balloons, maybe it's a couple balloons. Like I'm hoping it's just balloons, but again, these acts of aggression are pretty crazy. I actually do hope that aliens are coming back and saving us from ourselves, right? So, or maybe it's us from like 10 years or in the future, right? So if time travel ever gets invented, then it exists now, and they could just be these like human beings, and they got the key to save us, and we're just like shooting them out of the sky, right? I don't know what's going on, you guys. It's pretty crazy out there. I hope you guys are doing great. Anyway, so I'm in Apple stock right now. I really wanted to go into what I'm seeing in SPY. So in the traditional stock market, we're on the MACD, and we did just have this bearish cross. So this dot right here basically symbolizes the MACD cross. And, for Bitcoin, this is a very good indicator. If you guys trade it off of no other indicator on Bitcoin, okay? If you trade it off no other indicator on Bitcoin, trade off this one. And this is not financial advice on this channel. I hope you guys, make your own decisions. But MACD is a very powerful tool for Bitcoin, and traditionally, it's very hard to trade Bitcoin. And a lot of analysts, if you're used to regular stock market and then you get into Bitcoin, it acts totally different. So this this is a very reliable indicator for trading Bitcoin. If you had to choose no other indicator, MACD is great for Bitcoin. And you basically sell these crosses, and then you buy. The deeper they cross below, like this is a very good buying opportunity. And you go back in, 2021, in June, that's a really good buying opportunity. And we did have a bull rally there. So, these indicators aren't perfect, but there's some that are better than others, and that's why I just wanted to touch base with you guys. Some things that I'm seeing that are negative right now on Bitcoin, and I look at Bitcoin first, you guys, and I hope you guys understand why I do that. I do love Litecoin, and I'm going to go into Litecoin, but we're going to look at Bitcoin first because it's the king ding-a-ling, and we're going to see what's going on. So what I don't like right now is that we broke through this support level right here, and we came back into this formation, and now we're banging our head on this line. And so I don't necessarily like that so much. And this indicates that we're probably going to head a little lower. And then the next drop off, though, is pretty significant, you guys. It's like, down here, this like, it's going to hit probably 20. We have a lot of support right here. But if it punches through 20 and hits its head on this, and we can't get above this line, we're going to hit 20. Maybe we'll bounce around. And then it's like the next level is like down here. Now it's going to like 16. Okay. So, this is a very real scenario, you guys, at least on the short term. And, obviously I'm a long-term bull on Bitcoin and cryptos. We'll go into Litecoin. Litecoin, has broken back into this ascending wedge. And so that's not super great. Zooming out though, I did want to show you guys this. So zooming out here, I kind of drew a little bit of what I think, might happen here. And I think that there's going to be a pre-halving Litecoin pump here. Move this thing right here. And I think that, there is a really good possibility that we come up and hit this like 150 zone. We may even go up high. I think, the max we would go is like 200. And that is the golden pocket. I did that for you guys previously on the fib retracement. So, to the bottom, that's 618, actually did that wrong. We got to do it from the bottom to the top here. Let's go to the bottom to the top here. Bottom to the top. Okay, so the 618 is basically the golden pocket where I think that we could come up, and hit our bumper head. This is basically the highest I think we're going to get in the next, this next year. And then we're gonna, the true pump and the true bull run, you guys, is gonna start, in probably late 2024, 2025. But Bitcoin's gonna go, or Litecoin's gonna go really high, you guys. Litecoin's gonna go really high, and we're gonna break 1,000. Like, I think that this guy is totally true. I think this is pretty accurate here. I think we're gonna hit 1,000 by, we should be above 1,000 in 2025. Okay, at least. Okay, and we could even overshoot this thing because I do think Bitcoin is going to overcorrect to the stock to flow, and that we are on this like S curve right now. So we're going to start, really getting some significant rallies here, and every time it rallies, we're going to bring some more people in, right? Like Apple itself, like I was looking at Apple because Apple itself could literally double the Bitcoin market with it's one company, you guys, one company, one publicly traded company, but it's one company, right? Like we have Google, we have Apple, we have Microsoft, we have, umpteen, 1,000 countries left out there. All we have is El Salvador, and El Salvador people, dude, I salute you guys. I hope you guys are watching right now because you are going to be king. If you guys want to live like kings, like in 10, 15 years, move to El Salvador because they're going to be rolling and everybody's going to be just Lambo. It's going to be Lambos. They're going to have Lamborghini, corporations and businesses just pumping them out down there because their leader has the foresight to adopt Bitcoin early. And I do think that the United States is going to get on board here, and they're going to realize that the only thing they need to realize with Bitcoin is that it works. It works right now, and you got to learn how to tax it, right? So figure out those two things. I would recommend, if anybody in the government is listening right now, I would recommend, okay, Gary Gensler, if you're out there, this is what I recommend, okay? Tax people when they convert their money to US dollars, okay? Just do it like France. If I trade for Bitcoin to Ethereum or, Litecoin to Ethereum, that's an equal trade. It should not be a taxable event, okay? And the only way that we should, tax it is if you go back to US dollars. If I cash out and I put money back in my bank account in US dollars, then that is a taxable event, and I pay taxes on that, and that's what I claim. But if I buy Ethereum, let's just say I buy Ethereum, right, at 15 different places along the way up until 4,200, and then I'm like, okay, I want to buy some Bitcoin because I think it's the same amount of Ethereum worth as Bitcoin, and I'm not going back to US dollars, so it cannot be a taxable event. And the math and even the way to figure that out doesn't even make sense, right? So the people in crypto know this, so we pay taxes when we go back to US dollars, and that's what France does. That's what the clarification needs to happen. And if the government's guy has to get on board, you guys, with this. The only thing that would be weird is if the US dollar was actually backed by Bitcoin, you guys. And we'll go into Bitcoin's chart. Apple's chart's looking like we're just like in this channel right now. But some things going on with Bitcoin. Okay. We are breaking back into this formation, which is not great. Okay. So we're banging our head. We have this potential really of, hopefully 20 holds, and then we can punch back out of this. But if 20 doesn't hold and we actually start breaking below 20, the next step, short this right here, you guys, short this mother, and then come down to this like 16,000, and we'll make Bitcoin together, and we can short it together. And that's how we make money. And then when it goes back up, then we long it. Okay. So you can make money either direction. For the hodlers, anything below 20, I would say, start dollar cost averaging, and then start gulping around, really start taking a nibble of this thing, like from 16,000 to 10, right? So like that's in a worst case scenario, and things are going to hell in a handbasket quick. Um, you know, definitely, uh, start taking profits. You guys, you got to do what's comfortable with you, but that's my strategy right now. And so I like to tell you guys, the truth right now. This whole, like, what is going on with this, right? Like this debt ceiling situation, you guys, like, if they can't agree on even the money that they spent last year, okay, we're just paying our debt that we did last year. And the government, and they're like, nah, they're like, nah, they're basically people that we ate our food and are just not going to pay. Okay. That's literally what this means. And I found out that we do have like date X, right? So we have date X, and date X is the day that the US government is like not able to meet its financial obligations. And it's basically like lights out for, a lot of places that rely on government funds, right? So we have a date X. It's apparently, Janet's like saying it's in June, but some people say it's like more like August. So it's kind of a speculative date, and it's basically how fast we go through our money, right? So we'll see what happens, you guys. I really think that they will agree to increase the debt limit. That's just, if you're basically an American, if they're all American theoretically, and they're not working for some foreign governments, which is, it's hard to say now in Congress, like, right? Like, how deep is other governments in our own Congress? And I think that's something that we should be asking that question. And how deep are corporations that have, private interests in our own government? We need to start asking those questions, you guys. I think lobbyists, I don't think, if you want to work for the government and you work for Congress and represent us, then you should be transparent with your finances. Okay. This is why crypto would be great for the government, because we could see, okay, it'd be like, everybody, you have to get paid in Bitcoin no matter what. And nothing else will be accepted into your bank account, right? And we could track all the congressmen, and it's just a public record, and we could all know what. And then we don't have to have lobbyists and all these oil corporations or big pharma coming out and paying for people, right? And paying for votes and paying for weird policies to get initiated, right? So it's about time that the people take back, what a democracy is, and like what the true representation is. And I think cryptos and the transparency is an amazing tool to be able to do, to bring freedom back to America. And so I am, proponent of sound money. I am proponent of, silver and cryptos. Those are the two things. I think in the long run, like 20, 30 years, you guys, I think silver and gold might become like, not really. We might be making like gold toilets and stuff by then, because we're gonna eventually figure out how to tow one of these like comets back in, and these meters that are sitting out there, and we're gonna have a lot of gold and silver and metals and stuff. But Bitcoin, you're not gonna pull in a meteor and you're gonna find a bunch of Bitcoin. So ultimately, I think Bitcoin's gonna win because of a few different reasons. And it's basically the rest of the world that has to realize that. And by being educated um, about this situation right now, the genie's out of the bottle, you guys. Bitcoin's not going back. Decentralization is not going back into a thing. You know, more and more things are going to become more decentralized. Exchanges are going to become decentralized. All these things are going to become decentralized, and you're not. They're going to run on. That means that they run on their own. There's no CEO to attack. If you can have, if you have a corporation or a CEO or a stake coin, like good luck with everything. Because and those for people that don't know, like those investments are are risky for me. Like those are risky because you can have a bad CEO and they make like these bad decisions, and it bankrupts the whole thing, kit and caboodle. Okay, so anyways, little bit of a rant. I'm sorry about that. Litecoin is showing some bearish divergence on the cipher right now. We're also having kind of the money flow kind of move back out. So, you know, I do think this test of this $80 range is inevitable at this point. And we do have the 200-day moving average like down here at like, it'll start curling up. I mean, like 70 to 78. So we could even come back and we could retest this 200. We still have the 50, so we'll see what happens with the 50. But at this point, I think the 50 is definitely going to get retested. And that's sitting around like the 85, 80-ish range. So we'll see what happens with Litecoin. I do think, you know, this is a bearish formation, you guys. In the end, I think we're going to 1,000 by at least by 2025. Some people have it way higher than that. And again, this adoption curve, you guys, is going to throw a lot of people off because everybody's thinking this is the way, and this is not the way. This is minimalistic and short-sighted, and to say the least, because of so much money that's left in the system. You guys, we have this money left. Okay, you don't understand. You don't understand. Like United States GDP could quadruple Bitcoin's net worth just ourselves. You know, China, like if they just were like, okay, we're going to put some on the books, we're going to have a little bit of reserve on cryptos because we see this is not going anywhere, and we're going to just do like a modest 5%. Okay, that would literally 20x the market, you guys. And that adoption would just accelerate that curve. And that's what's going to happen. It's going to accelerate. And it's not plateauing at $8 billion. Okay. It's ridiculous to even think that we have so much money left to come into this thing, you guys. So the fact that you're here, I salute you guys. Salute again to my family. This video has probably gone on a little bit long. In the end, you know, this is what I think is going to happen right now. Short-sighted, you know, short term, we're going to have probably a little bit of a pullback. I think that the stock market and the Dow Jones and regular stocks are going to decouple from Bitcoin eventually, you guys. We're going to have a decoupling, because cryptos are its own thing. It has unique properties that the regular centralized, you know, Ponzi system, you know, derivatives, stock market, all the paper that was created on this debt-based Keynesian system, you guys, is going to collapse onto real things, real commodities and properties and gold and silver. And in the next 20 years, that's gold, silver, a great play. 30 years plus, when we start dragging meteors into orbit and mining them, you know, game off on metals, right? You're going to see we're going to be making we're making gold toilets at that point. But you know, Bitcoin will also be $20 million at that point too, as well. So you guys, this is not going away. You know, government can't kill this thing. The sooner they realize that and get on board, and the better. And United States infrastructure and our power and our industry and our leadership, this would be a great move to legitimize the dollar and give the dollar legs way beyond any fiat money that's ever existed. So God bless America. God bless, you know, all the leaders that are in our world right now. Pray for peace, you guys. Pray for some sort of compromise and peace treaty between, Russia and NATO. Um, there has to be compromise on both sides. That's what things are, and we need to come to the tables and save humanity right now. So if you guys are still here, cheers. I love you guys. Litecoin Lawton out.